the International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening and welcome to Today on One. I'm Isai Sipunga. In the news tonight, corruption has long-term consequences on the economy, says NOAA. Transport Ministry celebrates Mutora's return. Namib Mills employees embark on peaceful nationwide protest. My dream is to have a commercial farm, says local farmer. And Roundup, Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the weather. First up, the Anti-Corruption Commission observed International Anti-Corruption Day with the ACC's Director General Paulus Noah stating that corruption has long-term economic consequences and undermines democratic governments.
Those who commit corruptions have technology know-how to do it. These days they are no longer exchanging brown envelopes under the tables. They are using technological means, even changing their policies, if not laws, to make sure that whatever is happening looks like it is legitimate.
According to the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Africa loses $148 billion annually to corruption. The Director General of the ACC, speaking at this year's commemoration of International Anti-Corruption Day, highlighted the serious social and economic consequences of corruption, stating that the National Anti-Graft Body has several methodologies in place to increase the momentum of fighting corruption in an ever-changing technological climate.
The damage caused by corruption may result in long-term effects on economy and livelihood of the Namibian people. Corruption erodes the moral fabric of society and damages the ethos of democratic governments. Corruption benefits few individuals while costly to the larger society. It undermines democracy and the rule of law, leads to violation of human rights, distorts markets, and erodes the quality of life. The Anti-Corruption Commission will never relent in ensuring that effective methodologies are introduced to increase anti-corruption drive. Our goal is to improve year on year. Every year, we come up with plans as to what are the methodologies that we need to adopt so that we can increase the momentum. And this is done through instances of strengthening our organizational structure, revising anti-corruption strategic plan, and reviewing the anti-corruption law in order to bring it more in line to responding to ever-changing corruption challenges.
The economic ramifications of the coronavirus pandemic is affecting millions of people in many developing nations in Africa and the global south, as many of these governments are unable to fund their own vaccines. The UNDP Deputy Resident Representative, speaking during the commemoration, stated that corruption has hampered the global collective response to fighting COVID-19 by depleting crucial resources needed to respond to and recover from the pandemic.
People across the world continue to come together to confront a virus that is upending the way we live, the way we work, and the way we cooperate. That includes everyone, from volunteer doctors and nurses who are lending their medical skills to tackle this virus, to all those providing the duty of care in home and in workplaces, to countries that are sharing vital medical supplies and millions of doses of the vaccine to block the rampaging path of COVID-19. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, corruption is infecting our collective response to this devastating pandemic, and no country is immune to this. It hinders our ability to ensure that everyone has access to the vaccine, causing many lives to be lost, unfortunately. Corruption is draining away valuable resources that are most needed to respond to and recover from COVID-19.
According to the ACC, since the inception of the anti-graft body until March this year, the ACC has submitted 694 cases to the Office of the Prosecutor General, who has made the decision to prosecute a total of 530 cases, and 76% of these cases have already been finalized. The United Nations Convention Against Corruption is the only global anti-corruption instrument that contributes to the achievement of the 2030 Agenda by fostering accountability, integrity, and transparency.
We know it's been a hard year, so we have worked to bring you the Christmas you deserve with the savings you need. Like Cool Peach slices or halves for only $26.99 and Brooks Oro Squash for just $29.99. Merry Christmas from all of us at SPAR.
Shop at the furniture store that promises you the lowest prices and lowest installments every day. Guarantees you free delivery if you find a lower price on any item, and brings you amazing deals like this 11.6-inch Packet Bell Monaco Flex Touchscreen Notebook, just $4,499, save $500. And this 236-liter zero gas and electric deep freezer fridge, just $6,999, save $500. Only at OK Furniture.
The Ministry of Works and Transport this week welcomed back its Minister, John Mutora, who has been in the Roman Catholic Hospital battling COVID-19. A memorial service was also held for the ministry staff members who succumbed to the virus.
Recollecting his experience with the virus, Mutora stated that he had battled the COVID-19 virus from the 11th of June to the 3rd of August this year, further disclosing he has been vaccinated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, adding that Namibia should not lose sight of where it is today in fighting COVID-19.
Speaking for myself, I remember from the 1st of May 2021, together with the colleagues from the Roads Authority, we had a very wonderful field work program to inspect some of the roads projects in the Juba region, in Kavango East, and then we ended up in Zambezi region. It was a very, very, very good program. But when we finished, we came back here. I remember me and my colleagues, my drivers and my personal assistant, we came back on the 7th of June. We feel maybe it's the flu or something. But then when we went to the hospital for testing, it came out as COVID. Some of our colleagues on that trip, as soon as we came back, just perished. Somebody like Richmark from the Roads Authority, we're together. So that is the experience. I had to be hospitalized here in Windhoek in the Roman Catholic Church. This was already stated, from the 11th of June to the 3rd of August this year.
He further pointed out the virus' invisibility, evasive and viciousness, urging Namibians to take heed of the head of state and health ministry's call to adhere to set COVID-19 health regulations and change their attitudes towards the virus, as it has not yet completely been destroyed.
We have not defeated the virus, not only Namibia, but the whole world. That virus is still alive and well. We have not destroyed that virus. The coronavirus is not destroyed, despite the significant achievements that we have recorded as a nation. See, when you go to war, you know the enemy, you know their strategies and so on, and you plan accordingly. But this virus is invisible. We try everything possible as persons, first and foremost, but we should never relax, not at this stage, because it is still deadly and it's still among us, it is still alive and well. Hence, again, I'm going back to His Excellency the President, and later the Minister of Health. On Monday, there was a briefing to the nation. We all followed by the President and the Minister of Health on the current situation. Now, there are people who think that when the President or the government spokesperson speak, it's just for the sake of speaking. And then we turn what the President is saying and twisting it. The President speaks as the head of state and head of government, after having been briefed, after having considered the real situation in the land. And it is his responsibility then to inform us. The President does not speak because he just likes to speak. And we should never make jokes of what the President is saying, of what the government is saying. It's not a threat. But it is a good advice when the President speaks like this.
Christian John from the Ministry of Health at the occasion debunked COVID-19 vaccine misconceptions, noting that vaccines have revolutionized global health and are the single most life-saving innovation in the history of medicine.
The feeling that we have, feeling some anxiety about receiving any new vaccine is understandable. However, the COVID-19 vaccine was created and approved more quickly than the average vaccine. Safety and testing precautions were not sacrificed to achieve effective results. No, we not the manufacturers and the producers. They didn't take shortcuts. They went through the processes. And the World Health Organization approved these vaccines for emergency use.
Namib Mills employees, represented by unions Solidarity and NANLO, embarked on a nationwide peaceful protest to hand over a petition pertaining complaints such as, amongst others, movement of pension funds, performance bonuses, the Wolfish Bay humiliation incident, and treatment of employees at the workplace.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
What we are saying is at least the company to pay us the bonuses as we agreed, because it has become a condition of employment. Subjectly that these workers have been getting this bonus for over a decade and almost for all the years that have passed. Now suddenly the company is telling us they don't have the money, they did not have the income, they did not make the targets. Subsequent, the workers are saying, it is time that Namib Mills must give them their increment, because they have been waiting for their increment for almost a year and then the issue is a dispute. But this Namib Mills is saying they don't have money.
Joseph Garweb further requested an answer as to who gave authorization to manage and control the workers' pension fund.
None of them represent the workers on the floor. They were responsible to transfer Namib Mills pension fund from Alexander Forbes Retirement Fund Solution up to Investec, which is also known today as 91 Investment Fund, and its managing director is Master Saki Shangala. The former minister was heading the Ministry of Justice, who is now accused of fish rot. Now, one is asking the question, is our money safe? That becomes the question.
Approached for comment on the allegations made against the company, the management said they have no comment on the matter. However, a letter dated 7th December 2021 addressed to the Union Secretary General from the company lawyer states that in terms of processes followed regarding some of the allegations, the administration of a fund is governed by the fund rules, and in terms thereof, a board of trustees should make the decisions. Wage negotiations were already conducted this year. The Walvis Bay incident is being dealt with as all parties involved are undergoing a disciplinary process, further adding that the petition points are outside of the employment sphere, not within the confines of the procedural agreement, and unlawful.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
This year, SPAR is helping even more children start school with that new school shoes feeling. We have partnered with Barter to make brand new unisex school shoes available at SPAR stores across the country. Buy a pair of Barter school shoes for only $50 when you spend $500 or more and swipe your SPAR Rewards card, because every child deserves that new shoes feeling. Only at SPAR.
With trusted quality and great value on all Clicks brand products, switch and save. Buy Clicks Hygiene Liquid, $54.99 each. Buy Clicks Paracetamol, 500 milligrams, 24 tablets, 2 for $35. And buy Clicks Effervescent Granules, 2 for $132. Or buy any 3 Clicks Essentials health products, cheapest one free. Clicks, feel good, pay less.
A small-scale horticulture farmer at Mubiza village in the Zambezi region says his ultimate dream is to turn his vegetable garden into a commercial success. Charmaine Boyce has more on the story.
Bernard Samata started off only as a subsistence farmer back in 2015. He says now he has a clear vision of what he wants to do with his vegetable garden. The only obstacle hindering his plans is the inconsistent supply of water.
My name is Bernard Simata. I reside with my family in the Mubiza area. I started off by making a small garden to grow vegetables to feed my family back in 2015, and with time I started to grow more crops to sell to the local people from my village to make an income. I have a garden in the floodplain nearby. If things go really well, I dream of having a big garden, not only to feed my family, but for commercial purposes. The only challenge I'm facing is the supply of water. Our first plan was to buy water from Nam Water, but later realized it would be more expensive. I still have more savings left in my bank account. This is after I bought materials and drilled a borehole. For now, I use a hose pipe to water my vegetables, which is also difficult for us because of the distance.
Samata decided not to allow that obstacle to delay his goal and went to the Ministry of Agriculture for assistance.
I decided to ask assistance from the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, and they visited my garden at the village recently. They agreed to help me because they saw the potential of the garden and advised me to practice horticulture farming, as I will make money from this type of farming and provide jobs to others. I told them that what I need is a water tank and drip irrigation. However, for this, I will have to contribute 50% of costs. I made a quotation at a local store for this equipment, and they said it will cost me around 34,000 Namibia dollars. Hopefully by next week, I will have the materials with me at the village.
Assisting him to fulfill his dream, Samata gets all the help he possibly can from his family and one employee.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia Sounds with a Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
In other leading stories, the Bank of Namibia released the Economic Outlook update for December 2021, with the domestic economy expected to grow by 1.5% in 2021 and to improve further in 2022. Based on the International Monetary Fund's World Economic Outlook for October 2021, the global growth is projected to rebound to 5.9% in 2021 before moderating to 4.9% in 2022 from a contraction of 3.1% last year. The latest growth projection for 2021 is 0.1 percentage point lower when compared to the corresponding projection in July 2021 WEO update. The downward revision for the 2021 growth reflects weaker growth prospects amongst advanced economies and low-income developing countries, largely due to supply disruptions and the worsening pandemic. Growth in AEs is expected to exceed pre-pandemic medium-term projections, largely supported by wide vaccine coverage and fiscal support in most countries. Risks to the global outlook includes new variants of COVID-19 and supply-demand mismatches that may give rise to high inflation. The major source of concern is that more aggressive SARS-CoV-2 variants could emerge before widespread vaccination is reached. Risks to domestic growth remain dominant by the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, but also include persistently low international prices for some of Namibia's export commodities and climatic swings. Risks to domestic growth are dominant by travel restrictions that are still in place for many countries, exacerbated by new waves of coronavirus infections and the pace of vaccinations in Namibia. The latest variant, known as Omicron, has led to tighter travel restrictions, especially affecting southern African countries. Other notable risks to domestic growth outlook include low international prices for some of Namibia's export commodities, such as uranium and climatic swings.
Christmas, shop at the furniture store that promises you the lowest prices and lowest installments every day. Guarantees you free delivery if you find a lower price on any item and brings you amazing deals like this 11.6-inch Packet Bell Monaco Flex Touchscreen Notebook, just 4499, save 500, and this 236-liter zero gas and electric deep freezer fridge, just 6,999, save 500, only at OK Furniture.
Joseph Shifeni is up next with Business on One and economic indicators.
Business on One is proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
Welcome to Business on One. I'm Joseph Shifeni. The Namibian bulk power supplier NamPower is planning to develop the first ever utility-scale battery energy storage system for Namibia after acquiring funds to the tune of nearly $400 million from the German Development Bank for the project. NamPower is expected to contribute approximately $100 million toward the costs.
The first of its kind energy storage system is described as a device that enables generated electricity to be stored and dispatched when required. At the signing ceremony, the managing director of NamPower, Simpson Holofu, said this is a milestone for the energy sector of the country, considering that it is the first of its kind in the Southern African region.
The grant will go towards the construction of a 58-megawatt BESS plant that will be situated at the Umburu substation, located 12 kilometers southeast of Maruru in the Erongo region. As part of the agreement, NamPower has committed to contribute approximately 20% of the total project cost to be used for the construction of the transmission interconnection, as well as for the local taxes and duties which are not included in the grant funds. Once commissioned, NamPower will be able to utilize a combination of various applications which were identified during the feasibility study for the Umburu BESS project. These are peak shifting, energy arbitrage, provision of emergency energy, ramp rate control, and the reactive power control.
The country director for the KfW Development Bank said that they are proud to be providing funds for a project that will contribute toward renewable energy generation and storage in the country.
A battery storage system, such as the one implemented by GetFit Namibia Battery Energy Storage System, BAS, very long name, can fulfill a multitude of tasks related to the challenges of the integration of renewable energy and is ideally suited to support the sustainable development of the Namibian electricity sector. Therefore, we as KfW are very proud to implement this lighthouse project together with our long-standing partners NPC and NamPower, and to conclude this grant agreement with an amount of 20 million euros.
The NamPower managing director also said that the plant will serve as a pilot project that will ultimately lead to more similar systems for the Namibia energy sector. He also added that a contractor has not been identified yet, but 18 companies have expressed interest.
Business on One was proudly brought to you by the Government Institutions Pension Fund.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
We are molded with the utmost intricacy, unique and ever-evolving. But we will always need a guiding hand.
Dear teachers, we know all the hard work you put in every day to make sure our kids get the best education possible. It's also our goal here at One Africa TV's #LearnOn1. That's why we bring free quality supplementary lessons that are 100% Namibian, complements of NMH's MyZone. Lessons include early childhood development programs and primary school lessons. These air on One Africa TV every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. with repeats from 2 to 4 p.m. There's so much to learn with #LearnOn1. Invite learning in.
Every Saturday at 7 p.m., you can stay true to Namibia Sounds with the Valentine's True Music Sessions. Only on 99 FM. Stay tuned. Stay true. There's no wrong way. Valentine's. Not for sale to persons under the age of 18. Drink responsibly.
Now we'll look at Comments Corner, your daily dose of comments from our social media pages. The affirmative repositioning movement has revealed that they have taken the fish rod issue to an international stage, thanks to a partnership with Restitution, a law firm that specializes in commercial litigation, arbitration, and dispute resolution. The goal of the partnership, according to Job Amopanda, is to ensure that all assets associated with the fish rod scandal are recovered and invested in Namibia through the Namibia Recovery Fund. Philip prays that the AR is protected with the big task ahead, adding that it won't be easy. Nina Mihito says it's a great idea. Oga says it's nonsense. While Veno is calling on all to support the AR movement for coming up with the great idea. And that's all from Comments Corner. Be sure to post your comments on our social media pages for broadcast every day, only on Today on One.
It's been a hard year, so we have worked to bring you the Christmas you deserve with the savings you need. Like all gold tomato sauce for only $25.99 and Coup baked beans and tomato sauce for just $11.49. Merry Christmas from all of us at Spar.
Castro Lumbo is up next with the sports update.
Welcome to Sports on One. I'm your host, Castro Ulumbu. After successfully hosting the first part of the Building Champions Boxing Bonanza in October, the MTC Salute Boxing Academy announced the second and last Bonanza for the year, under the theme Building Champions Part 2. This Bonanza will see Lucas the Demolisher Ndafoluma defend his WBO Africa middleweight title against South Africa's Nkululeko Mhlongo. Today on One has more on the story. Announcing the Building Champions Boxing Bonanza at the MTC headquarters, Friedrich Nyolo, an executive member at the stable, promised an exciting night of boxing action, which includes Nathaniel Kakololo as well as Emmanuel Joseph, who will be part of the card. Despite it being a challenging year, he is satisfied with the stable's calendar year and is hoping to build on that success in the future. Nyola added.
On the night, we'll see Lucas the Demolition Ndafoluma defend his WBO middleweight Africa title for the second time. He will be up against Nkululeko Mhlongo. He is originally from KwaZulu-Natal, currently based in Johannesburg. He is a former South African national title middleweight and WBA Africa middleweight. He's got an impressive record of 31 fights, 22 wins, 9 losses and 1 draw. So it will be a good fight to watch on the night. And I'm certain Mr. the Demolisher Lucas Ndafoluma is ready, as well as the counterpart from South Africa, Mr. Nkululeko Mhlongo. On the same night, we'll see Emmanuel Joseph. He's here. Emmanuel Joseph will be defending his flyweight, WBO flyweight Africa title for the first time. He will be defending it against Musen Kizota. We'll also see Mr. Nathaniel Kakololo, who will be in the ring as well as 9 exciting undercards. The history books must write about MT Salute Boxing Academy and the work that we put in boxing. And on the night, it will be another chapter in MTC Salute Boxing Academy book. So let's give our fans what they deserve. Let's give boxing what it deserves. Let's give the nation that loves boxing what it deserves.
Boasting a total amount of 32 career fights with 22 wins, 9 losses and 1 draw, Nkululeko the Bulldog Mhlongo, a former South African super welterweight champion, will take on the Demolisher Ndafoluma for the WBO Africa middleweight title in the main bout on the night. Speaking to Sports on One, a confident Mhlongo promised a great show as he aims to upset his opponent to claim the title.
I think I'll be honest with you, my brother. I prepared so hard for the fight. So all I'm going to do is to collect what belongs to me, which is the WBO. I was taught at a very young age, if you are given something, you must grab it with both hands and say thank you after. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the WBO with both hands and say thank you after the fight. To be honest, I do not know Lucas that much. I only look at the fight that I saw while I was preparing for him. I think 1 or 2 fights. So I saw how he boxes, and I don't think he still boxes the same way. Maybe he has improved, maybe not. But we'll see improvement inside the ring.
The MTC Salute Boxing Academy Building of Champions Bonanza Part 2 is scheduled for the 11th of December 2021 at the Windhoek Country Club and Casino in Windhoek. And that is all we have for you tonight. Join us again next time for Sports on One, and don't forget to follow us on our social media pages.
Thank you, Castro, for that update. Up next is the weather forecast.
A look at the weather forecast. The Namibia interior is sunny and hot to very hot in the southwest. Elsewhere, partly cloudy and warm to hot with a few to isolated thunder showers, but scattered thunder showers in the Kunene, Irongo, Otjitonjupa and Kavango regions in places. A fresh to strong southwesterly wind is expected over the southern half of the interior. The coast partly cloudy and cool to warm. A few light showers are most likely over the northern coastal areas in places. places. The wind moderate to fresh southwesterly, becoming strong in the south later.
That's all we have for you. Do join us again tomorrow, same time. And don't forget to follow us on our social media pages for more. From me, Isai Sipunga, and the rest of the team. Till next time, good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future. A hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
COVID-19 affects people very differently. Many people show no symptoms at all, but some are hospitalized for weeks. So what does the disease do to your body? The coronavirus enters through the mouth, nose or eyes. It then usually attaches itself to cells lining the nose, throat, airways or lungs. It can turn these cells into factories that multiply and spread the virus. For the majority, a fever, cough and breathlessness are as bad as it gets. But the virus can damage the small blood vessels lining the lungs and initiate clotting. The alveoli are tiny air sacs where oxygen goes into the blood. If they become inflamed, it can trigger pneumonia. Seriously ill patients need to be given oxygen as the lungs fill with fluid and debris.
I legit couldn't breathe. My oxygen meter was measuring under 88% oxygen levels, which is very dangerous. And the only time I ever thought my life was in danger was at that point.
COVID-19 doesn't just affect the lungs. It can also disrupt the immune system, which is used by the body to fight illnesses. Cytokines are part of the immune system that find and signal infections. For some people with severe COVID-19, this system can go into overdrive. If too many cytokines build up, it can cause an overreaction that damages healthy cells. This is called a cytokine storm for the most severe cases. COVID-19 can lead to seizures or even a coma. It can also cause brain problems that lead to strokes. The immune system overreacting can cause clots that stop the blood supply to parts of the brain. Brain inflammation, psychosis and dementia-like symptoms can also affect seriously ill patients. The average length of the illness is 14 days, but many people have symptoms for much longer. Breathing problems and post-viral fatigue last for months in some cases.
I cannot walk for long simply because I will feel a little bit short of breath and I feel the need to sit down. And that's something that has never happened to me before.
Some of the people who are most likely to develop severe symptoms are older adults and those with underlying health conditions. It's not fully known how anyone will react to COVID-19 until they get it. So it's important for everyone to follow health guidance. What precautions are you taking to stay safe?
Black sunrise, always gonna be a surprise, 'cause we don't know the way it's going to go, 'cause we can see the way it's going to be.
need water?
Yeah.
We're talking about COVID. So, Rajiv, tell us about the day you found out you had COVID.
The day I found out I have COVID. It was a difficult day. I didn't understand how I got COVID because I was always covered, I was always with my hand sanitizer. It came with my wife. And that whole day, I was thinking, what's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna survive. My kids, I was losing my tasting, smelling. There were some days I will test my taste buds and put like 4 or 5 chilies in my coffee. No ways. I didn't taste it.
So did you also lose your appetite in the process?
It was very funny. In the first week, no, I was chowing. Like I will wake up like midnight and make for me something. But after the first week, then the appetite was gone. When you go to bed, your body is also automatically switching off. And that's a dangerous time for COVID. It's like glass pinching you, cutting you inside your lungs. Then the heart was pumping like a rabbit pumps. You are losing a lot of fluids at night.
Is that through fever or what?
Yeah, it's through fever.
So have you experienced any side effects from having contracted COVID-19?
No, not yet. Maybe still coming, but not yet.
And your wife?
She was complaining about light head. It's an annoying headache. It's light, but it's annoying.
So basically you didn't take any prescribed medicine from the doctor to recover from COVID?
No, I didn't. The only thing I was using is Desperin for my blood not to clot. Because for some people, when your lungs are really, really infected, your blood will start to clot from the lungs, close all the airways. That's where we are passing. I'm smoking cigarette, and when you were a smoker and COVID in your lungs now.
So then after you both found out you had COVID, what did you guys do to protect the kids?
The kids move out from the house. The Buddhists will come, then we will collect everything for them and just put for them outside. When they came, just grab the food and go.
So what was the biggest battle for you? Was it mental or physical?
Mentally. Mentally was the biggest battle. I'm actually an international movie maker, and my career was cut off. I couldn't put bread on the table. There were some days have one meal for the day and went to bed. And that was hitting me in my mind. What if Blessing get corona now? Where am I gonna go? Who can I help? There were also some people depend on us in the rural areas. We couldn't help them. My future was black, dark, dark, dark. I couldn't even see that small light at the end of the tunnel. One day, my daughter decided, now, I want to see my father today. And I just told her, yeah, she can come. The first words was, Daddy, I was praying for you yesterday night. Don't worry, Corona will go back soon. And I was asking, from where? From Namibia? She said, no, not from Namibia, from you. And you are not looking good. And she was actually heartbroken. Until today, she hates Corona. From there, then I was like, oh, okay. If the smallest one is saying this, why am not picking me up self and do the right thing and get rid of this thing? That's where I started to run, to practice, coming to my quiet place. And actually, the main thing that broke my heart during that time was there was no one. The time of COVID, there was no one.
So can you tell us where we are right now?
We are at my silent place. I call this place my silent place. I will come here when the COVID is hitting me like 120%. Looking at the ocean, then you will hear voices like, no, you don't belong here. Today you don't belong here. Get up and go home. Some days they will nurse you like, no, you will survive. Your future is a bright future. You must not give up now. Think about your kids. Think about the people around you. Even the wind will do that. Actually, you must meditate. The thing of COVID is, looks like COVID is afraid of the warmness and is friends with the coldness. So the whole time you are baking in the sun, it helps a lot.
So is that what you did?
Yeah, I did. I will do that twice a day. This was supposed to be a golden year for me, a very, very good golden year for me. But then COVID decided, no, this is not going to be your golden year. Everything was cancelled. We, the filmmakers, this year, from the international shoots, lost lot of money.
You've lost 3 family members? Is it all due to COVID?
No, not all due to COVID. First one, my sister. She was very close to me. She contracted COVID April, and she was in ICU for 3 months. The COVID damaged her lungs, and at that stage her lungs collapsed and she couldn't breathe without the machines. Her kidneys failed, her liver has failed. COVID is real. First of all, COVID is real. It's not a joke. Most of the people, they fall away from COVID regulations. Still early to fall away from COVID regulations. We must still go in line with those COVID regulations.
And how long did you say it took you to recover?
3 weeks, 21 days.
What must somebody do to change your mind from that negative perspective to that positive?
COVID, no job, it's very dangerous. There was one day I just decided I'm gonna take a rope, go to the jetty, sit around there, and after all I will hang there by the jetty. The time I arrived here there was no wind, out of nowhere, the ocean was like angry, and it started to get cold, and I was like, but it was just nice weather. Then I sat down. Then the universe will talk with you, the wind, the sun, the ocean. That's the main thing of COVID. If you don't save yourself, no one will save you. And we must always appreciate what we have around us. That's the main thing in COVID. If you don't appreciate what you have around you, no, you will lose your head.
Smile, smile, smile. When you walk with me, I just want you to smile, smile.
My industry and what I've done with my hands in Namibia, it's going all over the world, and here you are, Babaji, you want to quit now. I'm excited for 2021. It's not gonna be the same like 2020 now. I'm making back in the groove.
Give me food, clothes, water, and shelter. Nothing else, no matter. You're my moonlight in my oven. Let all my sins be forgiven. Happiness rain on me. Never let the children
4x4, too much power. Hustle. Cash money. Fire. Hitman. Father of Sengeni. Gentlemen. Gentlemen. Itasha suka kabane Miguel Ebisayani. Solo wana. Cappuccino. Man one time. Samungele Leblanc. Frankston Kasongo. Shakira. VIP. Red carpet. Elmo Kayamo. Pao Mokosi Kandele. Queen of Love. More life to king. Digital. Father for Mevinda. Fafa to Merafrika. Bako Bandela. Bako Kufa. It's me. Comrade. You are number one. Number one. You are the big boxer. The big boxer. We ain't Namibia. And everywhere in the world. Salute. You are number one. Salute. You are the big boxer. We ain't Namibia. And everywhere in the world. Salute. Salute. Chibele, mamwanye, tatwanye, chibela bela, aye. Power. Salud. Cabeza pa grande. Big poster. One punch. So much to get some money. Just plenty money. Before I shower, before 7 days, I shower run away. Shower run away. Shower run. Thank you very much. I shower run away. I shower run away. I shower run away. God created you beautiful. Why you like to wear mini skirt? God created you beautiful. Why you like to wear say your man? I shall run away. I shall run away. I shall run away. I shall run away. Petro, Musombo, Tabazombo tuna mulongo. Oya komoya akota samba. MQ, Lekestara, Mwasa kitoko kilo mboka.